Good morning. Friday's rally was nothing but a rally of momentum, a momentum that was largely led by the frontline counters. With a flat opening on Friday, the markets turned out positive and remained relatively strong throughout the day. The market ended the day around 3% higher on anticipation of Modi victory in the next upcoming week. With one phase of the elections still to be out, the market is already starting to cheer the BJP victory after the post elections. Mid cap and the small cap counters also surged, but were relatively lesser as compared to the frontline stocks. Mid cap shares surged around 1.4%, while small cap surged only by around 7% on Friday's trade. FIIs emerged as a major buyer in the cash market segment on Friday, with buying of around 1269 crore, while DIIs remained relatively negative on the market and sold in cash worth 75 crore. Banking sector was the major sectoral gainer on Friday on anticipation of a new government coming in and infusing fresh capital in the banking stocks. The banking shares surged around 5.3% on Friday. Realty sector was the second frontline gainer of the day on anticipation of getting fresh loans and cheap loans from banks post the election rally. They surged around 4.4% on Friday. Healthcare segment was the major sectoral loser of the day, which fell around 0.6%. The US markets ended the day on a flat note on account of dovish stance from the US Fed chief and the ECB. Coming to some news for today's session. Today is actually the last leg of the elections in India. The IIP data is expected to be released in the later half of the day in today's trade. The CPI numbers are also expected to be out in the first half of today's trade. SEBI has decided to review the delisting guidelines on concerns over market participants that they are not able to buy out minority shareholder stake post the offer, making them expensive after the delisting price is announced. SEBI has decided to review these guidelines and will come out with a report later. The Asian markets are trading in a relatively flat zone in the early morning trade, with the Singapore Nifty being up by around 30 points. The Indian markets are expected to be positive for today's session. Major resistance and support levels for Sensex comes around the level of 23340 and 22660 levels, while major resistance and support levels for Nifty comes around the level of 7012 and 6784 levels. Thank you very much and happy investing.